Hi, all, and welcome to Monday Night's All Meta Mode podcast with Gypsy from Zero Discrimination and myself, Amanda Degaz. No advertisements, so we're going to get right into it and say happy early birthday to Gypsy, everyone. I know that there's some people entering the room right now. Happy early birthday, though.
Well, thank you. It's a few more days, November 3rd, so it's coming up pretty fast.
It is. Seeing the first is almost done, so we're just a hop, skip, and a jump for your birthday. Birthday!
It's crazy. I don't think I'm going to count this one. I'm going backwards now, so in the age.
That's all right. I didn't count. I didn't count last year's.
Funny. Oh gosh. Yeah, time's flying.
It does.
Time flies.
I can't believe woke up this morning and it's already November. I'm like, whoa, how'd that happen?
Right? It's crazy. So did you get any trick-or-treaters at y'all's house or anything like that?
No, we're on the death curve, so nobody ever comes to our house.
So dangerous. Yeah, well, we got some trick-or-treaters last night, so I went to the door and gave out their little animal erasers, and I dressed up as a detectorist, of course. So
nice.
I had my metal detecting Garrett bag on with my pinpointer around my waist, my Garrett t-shirt, my zero scrim hat, and I had my metal detector and shovel leaning against the table there. And nobody ever commented on that. The only thing they kept commenting on was my boots. They said, "Oh, I like your." The little kids would go, "Oh, I love your boots." That was funny. They were some cute kids. But anyway, were you able to get out this week and go digging?
We had major storms, and I think you guys did as well, and absolutely battered with the rain and winds. So really good combination for the areas that I brought you to, like Mudlark wise, because when you came, there was, a serious layer of muck and mud that had built up over the summer. And it was actually, I was talking to a couple of the boaters that leave one of the areas that I go to, and I'd seen him this past weekend, and he was like, I have never seen it that muck and mud covered. He goes, you can't see anything on the ground. I'm like, I know, you just, like we do, we look for shapes or things that might be sticking out of the mud. But thankfully, with the heavy rain and the ocean swells that we got, it did a massive amount of clearing of that. The sad thing is, though, because of all the rain, the low tide really wasn't a true low tide. So,
a little higher.
Yes, exactly. So I got there, and it was supposed to be a relatively low tide, and it wasn't at all. It was still halfway up. But what was uncovered, like the beach side on both areas I brought you to. So the one with the lead bale seals that I find, and then the other side. So I worked both of those and kind of, it was very high, but still managed to find quite a few things. Some porcelain stoppers and a bunch of beads and a few coins.
What kind of coins?
I don't know. I didn't glean them yet. I'm pretty sure one is an early, probably like a 1940 nickel, and then I think I got 2 pennies, but I'm not sure if they're wheat or Indian. More or less, I still haven't cleaned stuff from when you were up here. I'm way behind on cleaning, so. And I know we're going to be talking later on about recoveries, but yeah, so I was on my way down to the mudlarking spot, and they you know got a request for a ring recovery, which we'll do that section after. But yeah, you're getting out for your birthday, right?
Yeah, got a new permission. It's at actually like a place that does an Airbnb, and I'm going to get to stay there for the night for my birthday, and then I get out and metal detect. And the owner is actually a part of the local historical society. So, and she wants to kind of shadow me. So I told her that I would bring her an extra metal detector and show her how to use it. And do all that. So she seems really excited. So hopefully it'll also, we'll not only find some stuff because it is an older house. She had mentioned, or in part of the info that was sent to me about the house, that the back well was built by someone from the Civil War, during the Civil War. So who knows what we might uncover. So I'm really excited about getting to do that for my birthday. And also just meeting a new person and getting them interested in the hobby and what we do, and also hopefully it'll be turned into a good contact, with the Historical Society. So excited about all that.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's always good to have, positive meetings of the historic society groups.
Definitely, because you never know what permissions that might lead to. Like I just want to be able to uncover the stuff. I don't need to keep the stuff. It's always nice when you do get to keep some of it, but I mean, which we're about to talk about is our relic rooms, or our place where we store our finds.
Yes. Before we do,
to be quite a Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say there's actually a couple questions for you in chat already.
Okay.
So our ORH, Ohio Relic Hunter, Mr. Bill, wants to know if you're going to drop a magnet in the well while you're there.
That's a great idea. So I will, especially it being built by a Civil War guy, I will definitely pack my magnet.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he reminded me of that, because I hadn't thought to bring my magnet yet. But great idea, Bill. Thank you.
And just so you all know, Gypsy isn't in chat tonight. I am. So any questions that come up, whether to her, to myself, to the both of us, or in general, I'll prompt. But Gypsy gets to check later on, and she'll go through chat and see everything too. So I'm sure she'll see all your happy birthdays and thank you. And then
thank you.
Ed from Detect Ed Outdoors wants to know if you'll be doing any digging with Jace.
Possibly very soon, yes.
Awesome. All right, now on to the relic room. Must-haves.
All right, yeah, so I am changing the office room in the house, kind of where I usually do, like if I'm doing a live stream, or where I actually do the podcast from as well. Changing it from like an office area into my relic room, and it was kind of an art office / art studio type thing. So I had a lot of my art supplies. Most of you know I'm an artist as well. That's what my degree is in. And I even taught art for a while. And I don't do art as much anymore because I devote more of my time now to what I'm currently doing now, which of course is metal detecting, and a field team member for Garrett, and traveling with and for the Garrett team, as well as for my YouTube channel, and of course this past summer with part of the filming of Beyond Oak Island. So doing this pretty much full time now, I need a place to store and also display a lot of my finds. Now, I think most of you that have listened to the podcast in the past know that my house was broken into years ago when I lived in Galveston. The back door was kicked in, and a lot of my finds were stolen, actually, which was really, really sad because a few of my favorite finds were stolen, which is just, there's nothing worse than a thief. That's something that, anyway, so we won't talk about that right now, but, and what they did is I had several cases just full of finds, and they just dumped the cases out, and probably, I'm assuming, into some sort of container or bags or whatever they were carrying with them. They dumped my finds out and left the cases. Didn't even bother taking the cases. Just, I guess it was easier for them to do that. But so basically, I kind of had to start over with my relics and my finds from that time. So a lot of the stuff, I've given stuff to homeowners over the years, just like Amanda does, probably not as much as Amanda. But I also have given away a lot of my jewelry and rings as gifts to friends and family in the past. And even during hard times, I actually sold some of my rings and jewelry that were worth a lot more. Now though it's getting to where I'm kind of replenishing a lot of my finds, and I'm doing a lot more dump digging than I used to do. So I'm collecting a lot more bottles and things of that nature as well. So besides storing them in the garage on the shelves out there and kind of sporadically through the house, I'm creating a relic room. And I know Amanda has a spot in her home that has kind of become a relic room for her as well, which is a much bigger room than what I've got here. And she's got a giant, well, I'll let you tell them a little. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about your relic area.
Well, I've got a relic, a cash wrap, one of those big jewelry cases that's got a good amount of finds in it. And then that's all the metal detectors can actually kind of fit behind it. So they're kind of out of sight, out of mind. When you come in, you don't see them really, except for the 3 I've been rotating with right now. And then where you stayed is actually like my relic room, workshop, research area, clean area, in that back room.
You got stickers. You got your wall.
Sticker wall. Yes. Yep. My sticker wall. So this room was more of a secondary. So technically before it was just the cash wrap. And like I was joking in chat, I think someone said the number one thing you have to have is relics. And I was like, actually, then it'd probably be good to have a room to start with. Because, I had a box. You had garage. Heck, before that, most of the finds were still in my truck. So I upgraded, I guess, as I went. And I think we all kind of do that. You go through ebbs and flows of what's showing and what you're displaying. And, when you have a relic room, a lot of people think, the display, which is a good portion of it, I think, too. But, like, for me, I need a spot like I can sit and use the magnifier and a very bright light, and then I catalog everything. So I get into a lot more like crap, but
a lot more than what I do. That's something I'm really researching. Something like that. I will. But go ahead.
But yeah, Yeah, so year over year, I have a notebook that I will go in and I will. So basically, everything I found this year is in multiple boxes, all labeled from where they were found. So some property owners, like you said, I give a lot of that stuff back. So I pull all those items out of the box. I do the research, I catalog it in the book, and then I will take pictures for you know, my showing it off, but also so I can document it for myself. And then they go into display cases that go back to the property owner. But that's only because I'm lucky enough that those property owners are year over year. So they let me hold on to everything for the year and kind of add everything
Hmm.
up instead of giving it to them each time I go. Um,
Yeah, I like that much better because you get time to clean them, research, display them,
yep.
take photos of them, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but with having coming to the room, like I said, you said the cash wrap thing, the jewelry case was like our number one, but that is I'm up in New England. It's already, thankfully, we've had a couple really nice days, but I know we already had a frost last week, that it dropped to 30 in the evening. That room is only a two-season room or a summer room, so it gets really, really cold. So going out there and trying to clean anything and put anything together, it just didn't work for me. So, um,
Right. That's what it was happening to me is the garage in the wintertime was a little too cold for me to go out there and do stuff in there. So I'm really excited. I didn't like keeping my detectors out there either because um, of the cold and then the really hot heat in the summer. So it's really nice in the Relic room. What I've done is I've taken a closet and it's got the doors are off now, and I can just look in there and grab a detector that I want, and go take it to the car when I'm ready to go. It's ready to go. I can charge them in here, so it's really nice, and it's of course climate controlled inside where it's not in the garage.
yeah.
So
Yes. And now what I do is I go, okay, so if I'm in the room and trying to do stuff, what do I constantly get up to go get? So, like, there are things I've added even to my own list of what should be in the relic room or your research room or whatever. So, um, one of those things I found I'm getting up for more and more often because I keep setting it somewhere is my black light. Um,
ah,
because you can test jewels and then you can test,
right.
the beads and the marbles and some of the other stuff. But the black light and a flashlight. So that way you can angle, even with the bright light, still having that little handheld flashlight is like key.
Yeah. I need to add that to my list, the black light. I've been meaning to buy one, but now that I've gotten my Relic room and working on it, um, I definitely need to buy a black light. So I've got a quick question for you.
Hmm.
Did you get a chance to check that little ruby thing that you found when we were mudlarking? The
I
stone.
did with the
What?
black light. Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't glow at all.
So it's probably glass.
Yes. Yep.
Shucks.
It's pretty
Well,
though.
I was sure hoping.
Same here, same here. But I can't complain because that pendant had diamond chips in it. So I
That is so
tested
true.
I tested every single one of those gemstones I found, except for I got a blue sapphire. Um, that might be a sapphire. I don't know if they're supposed to glow under black light. Um,
Oh.
so the blue's the only other one I haven't tested, and yeah, none of them are. I mean, they might be
Hmm.
crystals or whatever, but they're not diamonds. So,
Ah. Well, shucks. But you did get the one thing that was real diamond. So,
yeah, yeah, can't
have
complain
you
on that.
tested the metal yet? Do you think it's silver or white gold?
I have not tested it yet. Nope, that's as far as I've gotten. Is testing
Gotcha.
the I'm actually looking at it all right now. It's all spread out on, so I have a table in the relic room in the
Uh-huh.
research room. So everything is spread out. I went to one of those craft stores. So we have like a Michael's, and I got
Mhm.
a bunch of, that's not fleece, it's the colored things I put underneath all my finds that I take pictures of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of what they're called.
It's
But
felt, like a
felt,
felt.
yes. But they're like a dime a dozen for like a bajillion different colors. So, and they
Mhm.
have all different sizes. I even have one that can do the entire table. That way, at the end of the year, I can do an entire wrap up with everything on
Uh-huh.
it and taking pictures. So those were a great little addition.
Very
But yeah,
cool.
everything from that hunt is sitting in front of me on a felt, waiting to be cataloged.
Oh, wow. So just so y'all know, Amanda today, last week, she packed up 2 boxes of stuff that I couldn't fit into my suitcase from when I was mudlarking and all that with her. And because most all the metal detecting finds I brought back with me. But the mudlarking and the dump digging, she boxed up in 2 priority boxes for me, and I got them today. So, and she had a birthday card in there that was so sweet and funny. It was funny. But anyway, um, so I've unwrapped the bottles. I left all the other finds in there, but she painstakingly wrapped everything. Like I couldn't even imagine how long that must have taken you to wrap all this stuff. It was insane. Me, I would have thrown a little bubble wrap in there and stuffed a little paper, and whatever got broken in the process. So she took a lot of time. Thank you for doing that. I
Oh yeah,
appreciate it. Um,
absolutely.
so I've already got some of the bottles that I found there. And I've got them displayed so far. I sent her a few photos, but there's still a long ways to go, and I may be shuffling things around in the room because I actually have an art. It's a light table that I was just telling her before we came on. And I'm thinking about, and you gave me a great idea a while ago. When you take photos of your finds and you're uploading them to social media and stuff like that,
Hmm.
that light table, I could probably lay out some of that stuff on the light table because it's it's like white surface, and take photos. It would probably make some really cool photos on there.
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely.
anyway, just a thought.
You can also do, so I can't think of the name of the paper. I think it's called like solar paper. So
Mm-hmm.
we've taken a bunch of our finds right when I first started metal detecting. And
Mm-hmm.
what we did is we set them on this paper and then set it in the light. And what happens is the light actually, like the sun and the light prints the item onto the paper. And then you get it wet and let it dry. And
Ah,
it's awesome. I'll have to look into that and post it later. But that's a really neat way too to kind of like do a arty thing, I guess, of your finds. But um, I do have to say, I think I need a new. So if we talk cleaning tools in the Relic and research room, I have disintegrated all of my Andres pencils, and I need a new one of the. What is on Brian's site for Digger's Den? What is that mechanical one?
the mechanical pen. I can't remember the name of it, but I really like that one. Almost really better than the Andres pencils because
Hmm.
you don't have to sharpen it.
Yes.
It's just like a mechanical, and you can click it, and it just comes out when you need it. And oh gosh, I can't recall the name, but I really like that almost as much as I do like the Andres pencils. I mean, I do love the Andres pencils, and I like that they've got a variety of different ones.
Hmm.
But I really like that mechanical one. Probably use the mechanical one way more um, to clean, especially the buttons, like we were cleaning
Yep.
from last time, and I just started cleaning some of the buttons, which hopefully I'll have that button dump video before long. But if you clean some more of those, just shoot me some photos for that
Absolutely.
video. Hopefully I'll
Absolutely.
have that before too long.
And if anyone listening, so if you do find like brass buttons and if you can start seeing like there's still some gilt on them, the brass brushes that you get at a hardware store work amazingly to clean them up. Now, the tip though on that is bring a magnet with you. So, I forget which store it was that I went to, but they were brass plated like iron because the magnet stuck to it. And those are not something you want to clean like antique brass buttons with.
No.
It will destroy it. So I did bring the magnet and the brushes up to the counter and let them know like this isn't a true brass brush. Like, it's bad. So if you
Wow.
do go to a hardware store and you're picking up a brass brush to do some cleaning up of some of your finds, definitely bring a magnet with you. It doesn't have to be a strong magnet because obviously the brass brushes, they're pretty, there's a lot to it. So any little bit, it will stick to the magnet if it's iron. So yes, helpful tip.
That's
Don't want to destroy your buttons.
That's for sure. Well, that's a great tip, especially with the brushes, because it's sad that, they're going through that now, and you think you're buying a brass brush and it's not, yeah, I've cleaned some of my buttons with those brass brushes as well, and they clean them very well. A lot of people are scared to death. Which, of course, if you use too much force, anything can be abrasive.
Yes.
That's why I really like the Andre's pencils, or when we figure out what that other pencil
Yes.
is about as
Horrible.
well.
Can't remember the name.
Soaking them in some Rust-Oleum or some, what do you call it?
CLR, Evaporust, or Lime Away. Those are the three.
Evaporust, yeah.
Yep.
Lime Away, yeah. Yeah, I mainly use the CLR, but I'm thinking I really want to try this Lime Away you were talking about.
Yeah,
on some of these. So.
I've tried a couple of things that we found while we were in New York. Not so good.
Yeah.
It did not work so great. So that made me sad. Yeah, the Lime Away. Yeah, you know what? I took one of the tokens, and you don't really want to do this, people, but it's so destroyed. I took the brass brush to it, and now I can actually start seeing stuff on it. So I'll go easier with a different cleaning tool. But I was like giant chunks of, yeah. The other thing is the ugly box, if you have a electrolysis machine. So I forget, what is it? Detect America, Frank makes those ugly boxes that you can use to do electrolysis.
Yeah.
I mean, we just use an old, cell phone battery charger that we made into one. But those work great too. And actually, if I could find larger alligator clips, I could fix mine and then throw a bunch of this stuff in there. But what are you gonna do?
Right. There is a guy that he's actually bought some detectors from me, and he may be listening. I'm going to be posting his information really soon, but he makes these really neat small electrolysis systems. So I'm going to get his information and be posting it when he's ready. I think he's in the process of making a bunch of them, and they're really neat looking. This is something that I would totally like to have in my relic room because it displays well as, is very useful. So be looking for that. I'll probably I don't know if I'll put it on a video, but I'll definitely probably be posting it on social media for him. And he's always come to me when he needed a metal detector or anything like that. So I'm going to do that for him.
Awesome.
Anyway, I think you'd be interested in it too, Amanda, because it's just the way it's made. I'll send you some photos. But anyway, sorry, a little side note there. I got distracted.
Composite cleaning pencil is the name of that mechanical one.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, if any of you are interested in any of those, Amanda has several, and I have some, but we sell them at Digger's Den. I don't remember the actual price. Are they on the website?
They are, and actually he's got some great deals right now. So instead of $12.99, they're only $10.99. And then actually he's got, Brian's actually got the acrylic coin stands and capsules, like 5 of them, so that way they stand up so you can display coins or different items in capsules. That's up there. He's got the Preserve It wax.
Yes,
and then
I love that wax. I've got some of that. It's really good, especially for like the buttons and like your Civil War stuff, preserve. Go ahead.
No. It's actually I'm willing to fight anyone. I need to try that that Preserve It. It's Preserve It microcrystalline wax blend. It looks like it's different than the Renaissance microcrystalline wax polish. So I think, now don't get me wrong, and I know I'm crazy, but I was using that Renaissance wax in this little room that I've got here, and I swear it's like breathing in gasoline, like the fumes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Is it something with it? Like, I don't understand. So I use a little bit, a rag, and I get a little bit of it, and I'm rubbing some of the buttons with it. I'm putting it on some relics, and like, I'm starting to feel kind of loopy. I come out, I'm like, geez, I think that stuff's like gasoline. And John's like, no. And I went outside and stood by the truck for a little bit, got rid of the dizzies, came back in, and the whole house smelled like gasoline. And I'm like, what in the world?
Really?
Yeah. So
that's not the wax, though. The stuff that Brian has is something different, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember
the stuff that I was using is the Renaissance wax. The stuff that's on Brian's site is not Renaissance wax.
Right. I didn't think it was, because I don't remember there being a smell like that. Interesting.
And maybe I just haven't used it that much to have noticed before. I don't know. But I was like, whew, that's not, I think I need to use that in an open air space. Like, all right, so that's, hey, live and learn. I know a lot of the cleaners that you use definitely should be in open, well-ventilated space. Same with, you probably don't want to be leaning over the electrolysis machine as it's burning off the excess
Definitely
junk.
Right.
So many things. Kind of like when you're, dump digging and like, all right, probably should be wearing it was funny because we used to wear face masks in the dump, like take it off, and it was completely black from breathing in this, like, all the dust particles.
Yeah. Especially that one section, I had to wear a mask, where we were digging, and it was like that, what do you call it?
The wool almost.
Fabric-y wool stuff. Thick layers. It was gross.
Another thing too. So I probably have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 just around me is almost like the fishing lure, like the white, white or clear little boxes that people put fishing lures in, and I know some people use them for crafts and beads and things like that. I have a ton of those with different things like spoons and forks and stuff that you might not like display. But I found that they're great to like, I'll label it, and that way if someone's having a hunt or something like that, I'm like, oh, I can offload some of this stuff. Here's some things you can
Oh,
bury.
right. I saw something the other day because I repainted my Relic room, so I went to Home Depot and to get the paint. And I went over into the light section for just a few minutes, and I saw a lamp there that was so cool. So it's like this cylinder type jar, clear glass, that you fill with whatever you want. And I thought that would be a great display to display some of your finds. And
Oh, yeah.
so, and have double, you're not only displaying your finds, but you've got a lamp there that you can put on an end table or for lighting or whatever. So I was thinking about going back and getting one of those. I didn't care much for the lamp shade. I'd probably change that. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I just thought that would be really cool a cool way to display marbles, or, like the shards of glass that we find in the dumps that sometimes we save, or the plate glass with the pretty designs on it. You could fill it with that, or even the little metal things that you find that you're not sure, how to display them, would look really cool in one of those as well.
Yeah. And I will always stand by the Silica Packets. No matter what you get in the mail from companies, whether it's clothes or even like, who knows, you get everything. Those Silica Packets work phenomenal in the displays to keep the items from, having any humidity, moisture.
Yes.
Yep.
That also, I learned that back when I used to sell jewelry, the same thing, like to keep your silver from tarnishing, stuff like that. So it's, very good idea.
I think I just saw Miss Emily is in chat. She said she wants to get a gumball machine to display her marbles. And
that is such a good idea. Yeah, I actually Brian Harvey sent me one for my birthday one year, and I've got some of my marbles displayed in it. And I was just thinking it's in this bottom case, but I need to, once I get my shelving and stuff, I'm going to pull it out and display it. Really neat. So that is, that's one great way to display your marbles. And fish bowls. That's another thing. Some people like, those cool different shapes of fish bowls are really neat to display too.
You could also, so people throw them out all the time, but the old coffee pots, not a K-cup machine but the actual, you have a coffee pot, and you could spray paint the mechanism and put your sticker on it, and then use the coffee pot to put like whatever in. That was.
You mean the ones with like the plastic handle?
Yep. The glass pot with the plastic handle, and then if you actually had the like coffee pot machine, you could stick stickers all over it or spray paint it and put your design on it, and then have the coffee pot with finds in it.
I absolutely love that idea. I've never heard that. That is so good and clever. In fact, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that, because they're like, sometimes, I drink a lot of coffee, and most of you know that I have one kidney, so I have to cleanse it all the time with I've got this natural supplement stuff that I take. But anyway, I have an empty coffee pot that I stuck in my garage for some reason, and it's just sitting there on a shelf. Now I know what to do with it. I love it.
Clean it off, I kept the entire thing, the brewer and the coffee pot. back in college, I had cleaned up one and then put a betta fish before I realized that that's really not nice to do to betta fish. But the betta fish, the coffee pot was its home, but
Oh, wow.
it kept the
Yeah,
cat from like sticking his paw in and trying to eat him. So having it sit on the brewer.
right. And
Ah,
have you ever seen the old TV, the wooden,
yes.
the old type TVs?
Yep.
I've seen people, make those in the pet things, but what a great idea to put like some of your finds in some of those old TV cases and stuff. That would
Yeah.
be really neat. I did
Yep.
too.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, we have about filled our time with talking about Relic Room. I think we
No.
better hurry. We can. Why don't we touch on the recovery, and we might have to extend that conversation for another time too,
Yeah.
because I didn't realize we were that close in time. But Amanda, so you went
I
on a
just
wild goose chase.
I just keep failing. I keep failing. I can't seem to do it.
It's
We
not failure. It's not failure.
I
Believe me,
know.
it's live and learn.
And
And go for it. You
I think
tell me your story.
everyone with a metal detector will eventually, or if they haven't already, will soon, or you get that message or that phone call that, hey, I lost something. And I've really tried helping quite a few this year, and technically the only one that I ended up finding was the one that I thought was going to be like the impossible,
The
which
hard
was
one.
the fire. Yeah, I didn't think I would be able to find that, the engagement ring. Um, in the fire debris, and we managed to find that and a lot of other of their jewelry and stuff. But yet the other things that, hey, I lost my bracelet, and and you get that information that, hey, I know exactly where it is, and then you find out that they don't know exactly where it is, and you go, and it's one of those deals where, do you know, like, how long do you search for? Um, how long before you wave the white flag? Do you continue going back? Like, it's one of those deals. I'm
It's
more or less
it's
scratching my
yeah.
head.
Yeah, it is so hard to make that decision. A lot of the times it seems to me that what keeps me, if I'm having trouble finding or locating, would be in the how how desperate do the people seem? Do
Hmm.
they seem really, really upset? Oh my gosh, this is irreplaceable. This is an heirloom, or I've been married for 50 years and I lost my wedding ring, and I really, that kind of thing. Um, and I've been on, so many recoveries over the years, and I never really charged for them.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I
I,
don't.
I probably talked about this once before on here. The one time that I accepted money was I had to drive. It was when I was living in Galveston. I got a call from a lady. She had lost her wedding ring. She was playing basketball at a local park in her neighborhood with her daughter, and the ring just flung off in the grass, right, and she knew when it came off. So it's those. I know that we had the ring finder, Steve
Yeah.
Zazulak, on a year or so ago as a guest, and he wrote a book called The Ring Finder. And I dug out that book today, and he calls it the 3Ds, and that kind of helps him determine whether he's going to go search for this lost item and do a recovery, or try attempt to do a recovery or not. And some of these he does turn down. And I was reading the 3Ds is the distance. How far is it going to take me to get to this location where they think that they lost this item. And I know that you were telling me that this particular item that you went searching for was supposedly lost. They supposedly at first knew where they probably lost it, and it was on your way to the location you were going to go mudlarking. So it wasn't like that far out of the way.
Yeah, not at all.
So the first thing that you want to look at is distance. How far are you going to have to go to try to find this item? Then the difficulty. And this is where it gets tricky because, like, for Amanda, they ended up getting, 2 different sides to the story? Or 2 different
scenarios, I guess, yeah.
Scenarios, yeah. So sometimes, like she said, the one in the fire, that one that does sound difficult. And I've done that. I've helped with people that have had fires. I've done recovery through fires. I've also done recovery with tornadoes, stuff like that, hurricanes, you name it. So those are more difficult.
Yeah, those are chaos.
They are, but I have had some success at that, and apparently you have too.
Yes.
So difficulty is another thing that you want to look at. You want to listen to their story and try to ask questions. Do you have the area that you think you lost it narrowed down to this area, or to a, how big is this area? Once you start asking, the more questions that you can ask them and the more precise that they can narrow it down, then you will know whether it's going to be extremely difficult probably, or, maybe it sounds easy and then it turns out to be difficult.
Yep.
You never really know till you get there. And then the third D, let's see, it was distance, difficulty, and do they know where it is? And that's, again, asking those questions. Do they have a good idea? Like the one that I did the recovery where I drove about a 45-minute drive, and I literally walked out and found it like first thing, because from where she had, shot the ball and it slung off her hand and landed not far from the goal, outside of the perimeter of the basketball court into the grass. She knew it was somewhere. It had to be, unless it rolled or something like that very far, that it had to be close there in the grass there.
Yeah.
And so I literally walked out, swung my detector, knelt down, and found it in the grass. I don't even think I had to use a pinpointer. And then I went on another one, and then once I got there, I got a crazy story like, oh, well, you know what? I took the ring off and showed it to different people. It's like a $40,000 diamond ring that the lady was a rental beach house in Galveston, and they were staying there only for the weekend. And apparently the night of the party, she was showing off her ring that she had just gotten. And probably left it somewhere, and somebody probably pocketed it, more likely. It's sad. But then she was like, well, I went into the water, and I didn't notice it, till later. So that was a wild goose chase. Never found it. So, again, if I would have probably known before, it was worth going out there. And, of course, I didn't even get paid. I don't think the lady even offered me any money. That one that I recovered for the basketball thing, at the time I needed the money. So she handed me $20, and I said, thank you. And that's the only time I ever actually accepted. But a more recent one, I had a friend. I had just come into town this summer, and I just come back from, I think East Texas or someplace like that. And actually I got the phone call right the day before I left. And I said, well, I'm not in town, but as I'm coming into town, I'll call you, and I'll see if I can swing by and look for it real quick. And sure enough, I came in, and if I would have started in the backyard where he had been doing the yard work, I probably, I know it wasn't there. I wouldn't have found it, but we started where he ended, which was the leaves that he dumped at the end of the cul-de-sac from raking. And I mean, boom, I found it like that. And it was a close friend that I used to work with when I was teaching the art. And she ended up sending me a thank you and a $50 gift card. So it was really nice. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
anyway.
Or, like the time capsule I tried. that was
Yeah.
like, oh, it could be there. We think it's over here. Oh, no, they think it's over there. I mean, again, 4 months ago, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. I mean, but then you kind of, when more and more people are kind of hoping, or relying on you to find something,
Yeah, it really does. It makes it that much tougher. But what a lot of people don't realize, too, is the deeper that they bury it, unless there's something really large in there, metal-wise, it makes it more difficult to find.
Yeah.
And so time capsules can be very tricky. So
Time capsule.
very tricky.
I'd have better luck with what is it? One of those the old film containers with something in it. Put some coins and stuff in that. Better luck finding it on that. But yeah, it was one of those deals that you're just like, you really, and you want to find it. Like, it just feels so good to like be able to find something somebody's, hasn't, lost. And yeah.
It does. It does. It really makes a difference. There's nothing like that feeling. I remember one recovery. It was for a friend, and she said, I got mad at my husband, and I just threw the ring in the backyard, and I thought I'd be able to go right out there and find it. So I went out there, and I found it so super quick. But, you get those funny ones. Then I had another one, I think I've told y'all before on here, where the lady, she had set her ring on, my friend had set the ring on her end table, and she got to thinking, her dog likes to just eat whatever and swallow things. Could it be in the dog? So I went and metal detected her dog, and I got a hit inside the dog. And so she went out every day for the dog to go to the bathroom and check the poop. And sure enough, it finally made its way out. So, anyway.
But
Yeah, funny.
I've also done the search that the girl got mad at her husband, and she made him pull over, and then she threw the ring at him, but the window was open, and it went, oh no, we lost Gypsy. So hold on one second, all.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what you heard, but yeah, so the window was open when she went to throw the ring at him, and it went out. The only thing was, it was like 4 feet of snow.
Oh, my goodness.
On the side of a highway. Searched for that one for a little while, too. I'm
really?
a glutton.
I've heard more stories about that. People getting mad and throwing their rings on the side of the highway. Can you imagine if we were to go start hunting the sideways, what we might find?
I did hear there's a couple bridges that are that way around. So all I could think is, oh man, would love the river to go down and be able to search there. I bet there's some pretty cool rings out there.
There's got to be. Oh boy. Well, it looks like it's getting to be towards the end here. Real quick, on a personal note, I don't want to linger too long on personal, but I just got a message that my dad made it out of surgery, and he's on his way home. So
that's phenomenal news.
So it's just a quick thing, when you're out metal detecting, be sure and wear your sunscreen, because his cancer started with a place on his face. Started out looking like, just like a little sunspot, and then gradually got bigger. So make sure you get those checked out if you have anything like that.
Absolutely. That's awesome news. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good positive
So,
way to end the night.
yeah. Anything else we missed, or anything in the chat that we missed? Anything?
No.
Oh, real quick, if you are thinking, I know the holidays are coming up. November, we were just talking about how fast October flew. November's already here. That means December's just right around the corner. So be thinking about those holiday gifts now. Garrett just put out the brand new Garrett bags. You saw mine? Didn't you?
I did. I can't wait to get one, actually.
Well, from what I understand, the first one, Garrett just put out, what was it, Friday, I think, or this weekend was it? The brand new video. So you can go to the Garrett website and check out that on the bag. It's got a mesh on the bottom. It's even got a clip inside where you can clip your ring, so you can use it for land or water hunting because of the mesh. I like the mesh too because even if you're on land, you're putting dirty things in there, and it kind of helps filter that dirt.
Yes.
through. So I really like that feature. So they are really awesome. I can't remember what the retail price is. You can always go to our suggested retail, but of course, come on over to Digger's Den, holler at me. We have the new shovels, and we're going to be getting the bags in very, very soon. So it may take, the bags have just been released, so we don't have them in stock yet, but we will very, very shortly. So it might take, if you ordered them like tomorrow, say, it might take a week to get them, but they will be delivered very soon as we get them in stock. But the new shovel, which is called what? My mind is blank.
I want to call it the razor, but it's not. Is it the razor?
I think it is the razor. So the new Garrett shovels, the new Garrett bags.
Razor Relic.
Yeah. So if you're needing some of those pencils we were talking about, just message me or put a comment. If you can't get a hold of me, put a comment on my YouTube, and I will answer you back, send you my email or phone number or whatever, and I can get Brian to send you over an invoice, get the Gypsy discount included, that we can get a little savings on there as well. So let me know if you're interested.
Yeah, he's got a lot of the bundle packs coming up too.
Yes, we do a lot of the bundle packs. So if there's something, always, if you're not seeing what you want on the website, just let me know. Tell me what you need, and, we can get you the best price out there. Amanda knows.
Yes. Constantly. And then those, if you do stocking stuffers and stuff, I know I spoke poorly about the Renaissance wax, but I'm sure that the other wax that's on there is probably awesome. That's a great little thing. And then the cleaning pencils and all that type of stuff, like even you can get a little flashlight, like.
And they're also good, besides stocking stuffers and stuff like that. What was I going to say?
Should do a metal detecting Yankee swap.
A giveaway or a swap or something. If you have a channel or a Facebook group or a yada yada, something like that, they make like little giveaway items as well. That's what I was looking for.
Yes, sirree.
All right, folks. Well, we appreciate all of you, and thank you all for listening. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and happy hunting all.
And you have a wonderful birthday and a great time exploring with that, the history people.
Thank you. I'm excited. also, like my dad just had surgery, I'm going to be heading up to East Texas next week. So I will not be here on the next podcast next week. I'll be traveling again. I've got a couple metal detecting clubs I'll be speaking at, and then hopefully get to detect with Jace while I'm up there. But I'll be back hopefully the following week to be on the podcast.
And I'll still be here.
Okay.
I'll be on next week. So,
all right. Well, I'll miss you, Amanda.
Yeah, of course you will. Out digging, having fun. I don't think so.
I will. I'll send you some photos.
All right.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Thanks all.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.